Hello, I'm Kristen Iris, and this is Momentum Book and Business Coaching. In a previous video, I talked about the differences between a social media platform and your sales platform, and I made the comment that your sales platform is the most important thing, the thing that you should build first. And I stand by that, but I'd like to expand on that because one of the problems, particularly with the authors with whom I work, is that like in any business, you have business expenses and you have to decide when you're going to spend money and on what, in what order. And while I still advocate setting up that author website and your sales platform as soon as you can, I understand that many people wait and can't do that in the beginning. So let's just talk about that. First of all, let's address the sales platform thing, because the other issue is that people will say, well, I don't have anything to sell yet. Perhaps you're still writing your book or still developing some of your business and your services. No problem. You still do have something to sell, because remember, we're talking about know, like, trust, and buy, and those in that order. So the ultimate goal is that you're going to have a platform where someone can purchase your book or your product or service, but you're not there yet. And if you don't have a product to put on that site, I can see where it might seem silly to have that. There are lots of other things you can do with that, but right now you can start to establish your social media presence and work on the the know and the like aspects, and even some of the trust aspects. So let's split this into fiction and nonfiction, because there are some big differences here. Let's address fiction first, because quite frankly, fiction is a harder sell. Typically, your target audience is not going to be doing a Google search that says, whatever your topic is about. Whereas with nonfiction, people are specifically looking for books that solve a problem. So they may go in and say, Escape the 9-to-5 book or something like that. And that's going to, if you've done things well, hopefully bring up your content or your content in the Google searches and things like that. Fiction, it's different. All right, so what do you need to be doing on the fiction side? It's extremely important for fiction authors to engage with their target audience and do it at the very beginning of the process. So you guys can set up your social media accounts and just start to find your audience, find people that have the same interests as the content of your book, the topics and things like that, and just start to engage with them. This is just the opportunity for you to put yourself out there and talk about your book writing process. But the mistake that I see is often authors talk only about their book writing process and only about that stuff. They're pushing that. That's great for getting known, but you want to build that like thing. So you've got to pull some personality in. And this is where the strategy can get kind of wonky, because if you're just posting random things, then it can have a limited value. But if you're posting things that demonstrate your personality and where you shine best, that can help people like you and identify with you. And that's kind of separate from your topic. And that goes for nonfiction, fiction, any business person. Social media is a chance for you to show a little bit of your personality. So regardless of whether you have a sales platform or not, you can put the word out about what you are working on and what will be available in the future. Get people to know about it. Get people to like you. And then as you continue in the process and set up that sales platform, particularly a website that has a blog, then you can start talking about things and establishing that trust, and people go, oh, this person knows about their topic, or they demonstrate that they're a good writer. That's another piece of it. Oh, I think I might be interested in that book. And then when you're ready to launch that book, you've got instant audience and you can have a nice swell. All that applies to nonfiction authors as well. Most nonfiction authors, however, do need to develop a sales platform first, because many of us have a business that we are using our book to promote our products and services. So we aren't as concerned necessarily about the volume of book sales that we have. What we want is for our book to demonstrate that we're knowledgeable about our topic and establish us as an authority and build that trust so that people will purchase our other products and services, which are typically much higher on the dollar value. So a book for nonfiction authors is oftentimes a loss leader. So we have to think about things differently when we're in the nonfiction space versus the fiction space. But this applies to many different businesses. If you don't have a sales platform yet, don't sweat it. Still get out there on social media, but it is still critical that you have a strategy and an understanding of what you're doing there, why you're doing it, when you're going to have that sales platform, and everything you do is just building to that thing, building your audience, building your exposure to where you can maximize every milestone along the way.